Hello everyone, this is Darwell20, and welcome to episode 30 of Darwell20's Let's Play of OceanBlock2. Today I'm making stuff. I'm working on some of the advanced AE things that we're going to want to make here. One of the things I want to focus on getting is the crystal circuit slicer. This dude. For him, we're going to need a few things. Apparently, we're going to need some cobble. I can smelt that up. And the plan is I want to get that big fancy multi-block pattern thingy so I don't have to build the chandelier anymore. Because I've been building the chandelier for like 7 years and I'm ready not to have to do that too much. So the plan for today, like I said, make circuit slicer so I can use circuit slicer to get lots of components. Specifically, I need the printed this dude. Right, and it's just a little bit easier to get with the circuit slicer, so that's what we're going to do. I need some engineering processors. I think it's time that I teach it the processors, but like we're getting there, so well, actually we have enough to kind of... So the circuit slicer will make things easier for me, right? Because then I can just like I can forego the whole like stamping process, and it's like much faster because it crafts 9 at a time. So I think that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, let's just make the thing and then call it a day. So we're gonna need an extended machine frame, which I know how to make now. I've been teaching a bunch of things off camera. And then I need 8 engineering processors. If I'm not mistaken, that all just goes in here and then we're cool. Yep. Nice. All right. That's cool. So circuit slicer ready to go. And if I'm not mistaken at all, that means I don't need like any of this anymore, really? Pretty sure that's right. Pretty sure that's right. Okay. Now I do have patterns for Fluix dust and Entro dust. Is there something else that can make that besides the inscriber, or should I keep one inscriber around just cause? I'm thinking one inscriber around just cause, right? Just to handle the dust making. So that should be fine. And then you can get the patterns for the dusts, right? And then you, Mr. Circuit Slicer, can have a pattern, and then I can give you guys my speed upgrades that were previously being used, and that would be cool. Nice. Okay, Circuit Slicer, ready to go. So I didn't even want to bother making the patterns for all the other stuffs, like the processors and whatnot. So now I can, right? So that'll be cool. So basically these 4 I want to make patterns for. Apparently I already have a calculation processor pattern ready. Did I do that already? Where would that be? Oh, I put it in there. Okay, yeah, I do. I do have that ready. Sweet. Okay, so that means just this pattern. And then engineering as well. Going in that way. Cool. And then I just need you to know how to make printed silicon, which we will get from blocks of silicon. Is that really all the silicon in the pack? Well, yeah, I guess so. Or I could do the other block. Which one of these? What's the difference? You are smelted raw silicon. Which, yeah, okay, that's not the one I want to do. I want to do probably that block. Yeah. And then we can do this block. That'll make things much better. And what am I doing with silicon? I'm not producing it. So silicon we have is just smelted quartz. I could stick with that, right? Yeah, let's just do probably the best, to be honest with you. Cool. Okay, so smelted quartz can go into the alloy smelter. You can go into the molecular assembler. You are going into the circuit slicer, and you 2 are going into the crystal assembler. Sweet. All right, then the last thing we're going to need is the circuit slicer pattern for the other things. So that's going to be U circuit slicer. And then U circuit slicer, which I think we already have because we store these in a thingy, in a compacting drawer, right? And then the same for this dude. And then the same for this dude. So yeah, between episodes, I did most of this, but wanted to come back and show you the last couple bits while I was just getting ready. So this all goes into the circuit slicer, and this guy just gets taught to how to craft. Cool. Okay, so in order to make all these things, I've taught most of these recipes, right? So the assembler matrix wall, we're going to want a decent amount of these things. And there's glass too, which is cool. I might want to do that. Let's do 5 by 5 by 5. Like, that's what we normally do, right? And then we can have a bunch of stuff in the middle. And that'll be a 3 by 27 slots in the middle. Yeah. So for a 5 by 5, it's 5, 10, and then 3 and 3 is 16. So 32 for the top. And then if we're going to make it 5 tall, it'll be 12 more, right? So 44 assembler matrix frames. Yes. So are we missing anything? Nope, surprisingly not. We actually have all the stuff to make that. Sweet. Okay. And then if we want the walls, I'm assuming the floor can also be the glass. Yes, if the top is, then the bottom has to be too, right? Yes. So then we're going to basically have a 3 by 3, which is 9 on each of the 6 sides. So that'll be 54, right? And amazingly, we have enough resources for that too. So that's pretty cool. Now, the inside gets the assembler matrix patterns. And I think I've taught most of these things, but there's probably a few bits that I need to still teach it how to make, like the extended molecular assembler. I taught it how to make the extended pattern provider, right? So that's cool. Let me just make sure that all 3 of you. So you need to know how to make acceleration cards. Did I teach you that yet? No. That should be pretty easy now that we have those things in place. I taught, like I said, about half of these things, right? Like I already taught it the crafting pattern because that's needed for something in here. I think that's needed for the extended, yeah, this guy. Cool. So that's good. I think you've got everything else here. We'll find out. The last bits and bobs that we're going to need for this, though, are going to be these dudes. Paintballs. Lumen paintballs, to be exact. So we're going to have to automate those real quick. So they don't look terrible, right? We just need to get the appropriate color paintballs. You're going to need some blue dye situation. I might get dye seeds just because I hate dyes so much. So much. Dyes are like the bane of my existence. You can be beetroots, right? Yeah. And then red matter paintball. Actually, that is cool because we already know how to make that. All right. Maybe. See, I'm already filling up on molecular assembler slots, and I don't want to have to expand my pattern provider system too much more. So if I can build like a big multi-block that stores like dozens of those, I'll be a happy dyer. All right, this thing is currently crafting. Now we just need matter balls. So entro dust, what is going on here? Oh, I forgot to set to auto export. Sweet. So now you're good. Okay. Yeah. Make sure everybody's set to auto export is on. Circuit slicer probably should have that on too. Configured to that side. Nice. Awesome. That's already done? That's cool. That's really cool. All right, let's go build this somewhere. You know, I'm cool with this being... Normally I would throw this in like a basement, right? But I don't there any reason not to put it underwater? I'm trying to imagine a reason not to put it underwater, and I can't. Because, like, I don't need to ever go interact with it personally, right? Like, I can just do it all through here. Right? So... Yes to underwater? Apparently. Apparently, I just decided. Executively decisioned that. Alright, so then you're going to have, right here, we're going to do a 3x3 surrounded by this. And then this. Can you wrench? Good. Cool. You know what I should be able to do? This vertical wall, range 3, right? And then build to me. That works. Look at that. Pretty cool. Okay. Now we just need to, do you need to be like... He's probably just not formed yet because he doesn't have anything on the inside. But, like, we'll deal with that in a minute. Okay. So we're going to need... I think you have to fill the inside of that thing with something. You can't just leave air spaces. Right? Am I remembering that correctly? But it can be, like, something simple if you don't want to do this. But I think we do want to do that. We want to fill it with all 3 types, right? Yeah. So let's figure out how many we're going to want. So we have 27 slots available, right? The crafting core can do 8 jobs at a time. So let's do like 4 crafting cores, and that'll give me 32 jobs, right? So that would be cool. So 4 crafting cores. 5 speed cores will run at max speed. So let's actually do 5 crafting and then 5 speed. And then we can do 17 patterns, right? And that'll be a nice, easy math. Because we have 27 slots. So 5, 5, and 17 works for me. All right, so now the only thing we need to do is get matter balls cooking, which should be easy. We've done this plenty of times. Matter condenser. Nope. You and you. I don't know why you're using quartz glass, but whatever. Matter condenser. Quest completed, apparently. And then we can get matter balls from that by just dumping in items into, I think it can be any storage, like, right? So I can just throw like a 1K in there and call it a day. I think that's fair. Okay. So let's go find a nice spot for you to live, right? Usually what I've done in the past is just, laser IO'd this. I think we could use the item pipes thingy. Okay, you're going to be configured for matter balls, right? And then I'm going to make myself a cobble generator. But I want, like, this guy. Basalt. No, I want this one. 32 cobble per second. That should be 32 per second. It's actually kind of slow. I mean, it's not terrible. And it's also not, like, amazing. We'll see. Give me a couple of buckets. One for lava, one for water, which I have available because I set that up. Right? And then we should be able to make a cobble generator. Sweet. And then we should be able to upgrade that to iron. Tempered glass jar needs 4 gold. With a little bit of a heat source. Do we have like a regular heat source dude around here somewhere? Alright, no, you're not going to behave yourself. Let's do it this way. Is this going to be a problem? Guess we'll find out. There you go. Thank you. Okay, and then to get that guy upgraded, it is alloy smelting with diamond. Are we that? We can't be that low on diamonds. Where are my diamonds? Why are we at? Why do we have 51 blocks of diamond and no diamonds? Do what now? Aren't diamonds in here? We have 0 diamonds. Then where are my 51 blocks of diamonds? Oh, did you somehow lose your priority? You did? I don't know how that happened, but okie dokie then. Weird. Weird. What I'm going to have to do now is remove you and see what other junk is in the thing. I have no idea. You know what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to run the disk thingy. But we'll do it later, because I'll do it off camera at some point. I'll make the disk, you know, the processor thing that, like, does the thing. That's good, right? Yep, just a little slow. Cool. 16 cobble per second. And then, oh, an empowerer? Really? You're going to make me do the empowers? 16 cobble per second may be sufficient. We'll see. So can I just do this, and then, like, you're going to be cool about that, Chief? That should be pretty cool. It's not particularly fast. You can just pump water in there too, can't you now? That's another option. I know we've got... So here's an idea. You ready? Just for funds. How much do we get if we do, instead of you? Do you work? How about in this area, but only 3 blocks wide, we're going to mute beautiful. All right, 123 blocks south, you say. Airdrop landed. Anything good? Meh, not terrible. Got enough of those cloaks, I think. Ooh, 4K. Always take more diamonds. I don't think I care about aluminum, do I? Probably more than I care about sand and gravel and cobble. So you and you and you and you and you and you and you. That, I think, works a little better. Right? The water thing. I'm thinking that's better than the cobble gen. Shouldn't you be extracting? Oh, right, you're not, because I didn't tell you what goes in here yet. Now you are. Cool. All right, so there's your matter balls. It's still kind of slow, isn't it? Is that cobble card in here? It is the Infinity Cobblestone cell. We could go that way, because that's what I usually do, right? Kind of like that idea anyway. So I just need a couple of buckets of water. And then a bucket of lava. This is usually how I do it, isn't it? And then you up to a 4. And then you up to a 16. And that should be cool. Cool. And then we have an interface. Keeping a stack of cobblestone. So forget about this. No, not that. Right? We just run a cable up there. We tell it to keep a stack of cobble. Whoops. I never put you in sorting mode. And then we can use laser IO. We're going to need some speed upgrades for this dude. I should probably teach you how to make laser IO-y things, but How are we for laser IO? And then you in there. Okay. So give me like 100 of those, please. Thank you. That should be sufficient. Okay, and then I'm going to want a few of these. And then all I need is one of these. So on the up, you will insert. On the north, you will extract 3 stacks at a time. Sound cool? And then you need 2 cards so that you do 3 stacks at a time. Cool. And then we can tell you to not render particles because we're doing a lot. That's faster. That's better. Okay, cool. So now I should be ready to do the assembler. The speed core, we want 5. Looks like we have the stuff for it. The crafting core, we want 5, which needs extended molecular assemblers. Oh, I'm already looking at assemblers. Extended molecular assemblers are made like so. More patterns, please. Low on sand. We're going to have to solve that problem at some point. Cool. See, we're getting real close on that molecular assembler, dude. And I'm assuming the extended molecular assembler goes into the crystal assembler. That would be this dude. Also getting low on slots there. So the 5 of these are done. Pattern core and craft core. We want 5 craft cores, right? And that's the molecular assembler dude. And then we want 17 pattern cores. Nice. We just need to fix the pattern. See, it had the wrong one in there. We're actually low on nether quartz? Really? That's actually surprising to me. But apparently we are. Alright, what makes nether quartz again? Somebody... This is what I need to solve. This is my problem. Remind me what makes nether quartz again, because why am I low on that? That's sluiced with crushed netherrack. Blazing mesh lava. I should be getting that at like a 50% rate. Why am I not? Isn't that what's coming in here? Oh, I know the problem. Yeah, you're not running because you don't have redstone in you, right? Am I right about that? Yes, you need redstone in you. And then we should be cool. Now that we've got this, you know, situation kind of sorted, we should probably be import busing certain resources out of that and, like, making sure that they're on always running kind of deal. Right? Oh, good, you're already upgraded. Sweet. Yeah, all this stuff should be void upgraded. We're gonna need a lot more of those after I do my pattern thingy. Alright, so we just need a little bit more quartz, which should be happening, you know, pretty quickly here. We'll be back in a few minutes once I've got kind of everything situated-ish. Yeah, which should be good. Alright, I have enough quartz now. So I'm cooking up the 17 of these dudes that we need, which all should run relatively quickly, to be honest with you. I do get a big kick out of just kind of like watching all this stuff craft. We are, in fairness, going to need to do a lot more automating of things like wood, of things like... I need this thing running all the time, basically, is what I need. So, like, you definitely need to have more redstone happening. Like, this guy just needs to be fed redstone, and these guys need to be turned into the automated doohickeys, right? And then we're cool. We can even just export bus water into there if we wanted to. We have a lot more options now that we have AE up and running. All coming together. Looking mighty good. And keep in mind, the craft core will have acceleration cards in it. So all the slowness of this crafting and the fact that it can only do, you know, a little bit at a time, that's going to be a lot better because, like, these guys could have acceleration cards in them. They just don't, right? That said, I remember converting these to a multi-block is a lot more expensive than converting this one. So this we may upgrade eventually, but, like, not right away, I don't think. Is that fair? Yeah, I think so. Ooh, that's a lot of crafting. Do I still have acceleration cards in my inventory? Maybe. No, not really. It is cool seeing that crafting occur. It is neat seeing all that running. Guess I'll be back in a minute. Crafting complete. 17. Nice. I do love this multi-block. It is a cool one. What is going on there? I don't know, there's like a weird... Right? What's that about? Is that like something... Is that a particle when a player jumps into the water? That's interesting. That's interesting. Alright, so in here we will do the 5 of you, the 5 of you. Cool. Multi-block form? I'm going to say yes. Awesome. Awesome. And then easy enough to just transfer all these patterns right into there, right? So might be quicker to bring them down. I just want to make sure I don't lose them. Magnet, you're with me. So it would be rare that I need to go down and do this manually, not never. Cool. I don't know where they go, but they go somewhere. All right, I think that's wrapping up point. So Devil20 sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Really like getting the large multi-block thingy in place now, because that makes so much stuff easier to do going forward. So we'll wrap up the episode here. We'll come back next time, and then I think it's time to start progressing-ish again. Not 100% sure, but I feel like we're gonna start continuing down the quest lines. I'll claim all my rewards here and get whatever I get, and then yeah, next episode back to progression. I think. All right, for now, take it easy.